Yo, 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 welcome to CryptoZoo's Community Talk. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm CryptoXJ. I'm joined by Rudy, Dex, and Solaris. Let's get into it.
Who stumbled upon this project, who's been heavily involved, because that's what it's been like. And like, to describe this shit to your friends and families is pretty hard, you know.
Yeah. No, yeah, I can join you on that one.
Yeah.
It's yeah, Rudy.
No, I was just saying that I completely agree with Dexter. This thing's a movie. Bloody hell.
Yeah, I'd love to watch a piece of content after this in a couple years' times and be like, look, kids, that's how I made my millions, by going through that.
You'd be the coolest grandpa ever.
And then my kids are asking where the millions went, and I'll say therapy. No, but I think we're about to approach a really exciting time. Who here reckons end of Jan, early Feb launch, or are we thinking later in Q1?
I'm quite optimistic. I think February. I think February is the month. I think January, end of January, we'll see some updates. Right, the team will start pushing out some things, but I'm looking for February really.
Do you do you not reckon, or what do you make of the overall crypto market and how that's going to affect us and how we do with our investments?
So in my opinion, I don't think crypto market will influence too much CryptoZoo community or CryptoZoo game in general, because I don't know, I'm assuming that around 60% of the newcomers will not going to be very, very deep invested in crypto.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is very true, yeah. I didn't think about it like that.
Solaris, do you reckon we're gonna retrieve like a portion of the hardcore crypto community that we've kind of lost over the months? Because we started off with about 20,000 holders with decent amounts of Zoo. Now we're down to, what is it, 1,000 or 2,000?
There is 1,000 people with 14 millions and up, but compared to these prices, I don't think it's going to be a big investment for, I don't know, everybody to jump with 500, 300, 600. So I think it'll ramp up quickly.
So because I mean, when I think about the initial, I don't know, investors in the previous all-time high we reached, I wonder the people that have pulled out of the project, if they're going to be looking at this once Logan starts talking about it and FOMOing back in, or if they're not going to touch it.
Once you've been in the community, let's say for a month, and you've been through all these ups and downs, I think it's a high probability that you're still watching. You became addicted. And it's something like, okay, I don't want to miss that. I have to recover. So everybody will jump on board.
Yeah. Who here checks Zoo every day? How many?
Yep.
Yeah, literally every day.
Every day.
Like every single morning, I'll wake up, I'll have a look. It's like pure cocaine, pure cocaine.
I think the question should be, how many times a day you check Zoo?
Yeah, that's a better question. I see people reacting with 100 in the audience. I think we got some addicts here.
Some addicts. No, yeah, I'd probably say like a good solid, like an average of like 5 times a day.
Right.
Damn, really?
Yeah, is that a lot?
Yeah.
Oh,
I usually just check maybe twice, usually twice max.
Well, what I want to do is get into the juicy bits and ask what your guys' opinions were on the marketplace.
Yeah,
the
let's
launch
get straight
itself
into
or
it.
the actual marketplace?
Well, the release of it, who you think made it, how long you think they took to make it, that kind of stuff.
I
Who wants to start?
think it's no secret that it was a new dev team that made it, because it didn't look like it took very long to make. Like, obviously, I can't make it, right? I'm not a coder, but I feel like it's not too complex. It's pretty basic if you look through it. But we've been told that there's going to be plenty of marketplace updates coming up. Mid this month, maybe end of this month. So I'm keen to see the changes they do make. I've been very vocal about this. I think they should add a transaction/activity page, kind of like ETH, so we can see the recent trades and that. But yeah, that's
it's all
my
coming,
opinion.
right? All of the
100%.
best of ideas that people have put in the Discord main, right, or even in the ideas section. I think pretty much all of them have already been thought of. At least what I think. I think what we've got right now is the most basic of something that they've just mashed up so that we can start buying and trading and having fun with that, right? But in 3 months' time, we'll look at the marketplace and we'll laugh at the one we've got now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's no secret that there's been a rocky road. I mean, in Q4 of last year, and shit happens. When you deal with innovation and you deal with a project of this scope, you're gonna have shit going wrong. If nothing went wrong, we'd probably be having a different conversation, but it did. And luckily, we've recovered from it. We've got some new devs that are fucking good at what they do, and everyone keeps asking who they are. And I think in the next weeks, we're going to be getting a post specifically detailing the devs and their scope. But when you look at this project and what it needs to succeed, we've got like the core building blocks now to resume progress. So even though marketplace might have fell short on some people's expectations, I think we're in a really good position for Q1, Q2 this year. And I think going forwards, we're going to start getting these deliveries that we've been waiting so long for.
Oh yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I think everything from here is just up. Things can only get better, right? As we're speaking about the marketplace, let me just get CryptoKing up here because I know he doesn't have long. I know he's waiting for a flight, I believe. Yo, CryptoKing. Yo.
Hey, gentlemen, how's everyone doing today?
Doing great in yourself, man.
Yeah, not bad, bro. How are you?
Doing well. I was supposed to go with my dad on a trip today, and he tested positive for COVID. So now I'm just kind of relaxing.
No
trip for today.
Um,
But I figured I'd jump in and see how you guys were doing, hear about how the marketplace was. Like everyone, I was expecting a little bit more from the initial marketplace, but the team is planning multiple rollouts across the next month, and I think that's going to continue to deliver very impactful, exciting news on a regular, constant basis. So I guess that could be theoretically better than all of it at once. But of course, it would have been more fun to see a more elaborate marketplace with, like you said, a bot that tracks activity, that whole thing. So,
yeah. There's a lot to add, right? What we've got right now is just the basic of basic. There's so much to come. And from what I've heard, it'll be constant updates instead of just one big patch update, which I think is the best way to go about it. Just them constantly updating it instead of just like one big update where we wait, a while for it to come.
Yeah, that way they can update it based on people's experiences and their recommendations and stuff. Because if they just roll one big thing out, they can't really improve it. Whereas if they slowly improve it, we can get the best possible marketplace for the community.
Yeah, 100%.
And the marketplace is cool, but I'm not really in CryptoZoo for the marketplace. Like, I came in at the beginning because of the breeding. The concept of being able to take one of your NFTs and combine it with one of your other NFTs, and for them to create a hybrid zoo animal, and to see some of the original pictures, they were outrageous. So I don't think anyone's in this room or in CryptoZoo specifically for like a new NFT marketplace. There's plenty of NFT marketplaces. I think we're here for the hybrid breeding. And we know the breeding takes place in the next month or two, basically when the further marketplace rollouts occur. So when we have breeding come along, I think that's what's going to go really viral on Twitter, with everyone posting photos on like a daily basis of, have you seen my gorilla pug? Have you seen my lion bear? And just have these images on like a constant basis being rolled out every time a new animal hatches. Because I haven't seen an animal that didn't blow me away. And if I did, then it was... There were 200 perfect pictures. There were 2 or 3 that was like, that one's I don't want that animal. But besides not wanting it, they all pay income. They're all wild, and I think that's what will make the game go truly viral.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that because obviously due to the delays and stuff, I think people were so eager to see something. And obviously, the first rollout of the marketplace is what they got. But like you said, we're not here for a marketplace. We've got enough marketplaces. The fact that Zoo have their own marketplace is amazing in itself. But yeah, we're not here for the marketplace. We're here for breeding, we're here for yield, and we're here for potentially some games. So yeah, I think the best is yet to come. The marketplace is an additional. At least that's how I look at it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm the
definitely a
exact same.
stepping stone.
Go for it.
Completely agree. Yeah, for me, it was step one. Step one was getting a marketplace able to handle Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum, so when the animals are bred, they can be bought and sold on a marketplace. So the marketplace was basically step one, in my opinion, but it's not why anyone's in the project. It's not why anyone's here to play the game. It's just step one. It facilitates basically the deck being built for the rest of the game. So the marketplace was step one, and we're going to see step two, step three, step four in the coming weeks, which is what I'm truly excited for.
I was just about to say that, King. What do you think is the timeline for breeding and yielding? Do you think it's February, March? Obviously, they said Q1. I'm assuming you're hopeful that they'll stick to that. What kind of timeline do you think breeding and yield will be out?
I think since the new devs have been brought on, they've made deadlines a priority. That's at least what I've heard from the team. Deadlines are the biggest priority. That's what they're most focused on. They're not concerned with token price. Everything will follow if deadlines are hit and the game's rolled out. So with that being what the major priority is, I don't foresee further delays. Obviously, I can't promise that. I'm not the developer. But I don't think that with how hard the team's now working on making sure deadlines are hit, that there'll be further delays. So I think it's going to happen quarter one. We're already through January, or at least half of January. So my guess would be February or March, because it's got to happen by the end of March, in my opinion. But I think we're going to get more marketplace updates, and then almost immediately following the marketplace updates, we'll get breeding, and then further announcements with what's coming next. They put out that entire Zoo marketplace and roadmap, and the roadmap gives more details to when everything will roll out, but it just gives quarters. So I'm just assuming it's going to stick to the quarters they've promised.
Sweet, yeah. Solaris, what's your thoughts?
I'm more bullish. I think it's going to be at the end of this month or first week of February, the breeding, because we know already the breeding is done. Ben told us that it's done numerous times, and I think it's done, and it's going to be released in the next 3 weeks. In my opinion, it's going to be out. After that, maximum 2 weeks is going to be yielding implemented, and from there, we'll see.
Do we know
Sweet.
that breeding will be done before yield?
Yes,
I'm not sure.
From what I recall from Ben, yeah, breeding is before yield.
Before yield, okay, yeah. But they're both quarter one, so they should follow each other pretty soon anyway.
Yeah. And just a disclaimer to everyone listening, everything we are speaking about is speculation. Nothing is official. NFA.
A question I have for you guys. We have heard from Ben that there will be some kind of reward system coming at some point, and I, for one, have been very vocal that the snapshot should be taken before any influx of new users to reward our pain. But what I wanted to ask you guys is, ideally, how would you guys want to be rewarded for your time in the project?
So I think like potions and like speed boosts, right? So in the first white paper we had, they mentioned like $2.50 for like a speed boost, right? Where it boosts up hatching time and things. I think those things would be really cool. Obviously, they're NFTs themselves, and you can buy them on the market when they go live and CryptoZoo release them. So I think to drop every one of those and to even maybe allow them to be traded on the marketplace before we can even use them, I think would be really cool. As well as Zoo and everything, but I think that's just quite an outlandish, quite a cool way of rewarding people who will hopefully actually use them as well, you know, in the ecosystem.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. That's a good point. I didn't think through the potion route. I think most people were expecting like a Zoo wallet, increase, but I feel like they've already done that, and they wouldn't do that again, judging by what happened last time with everybody just dumping the free tokens they got. But yeah, no, potions would be cool, like a double double yield maybe for like 3 days or something like that. That's cool, yeah. Or just even speed acceleration in the potions. I think we could accelerate hatching time or something like that. It was in the tokenomics, I think. And yeah, no, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that was it.
I agree. I think it should be twofold. I think they should reward users that have been here since day one, day two of the project, with either potions to speed up breeding, tokens to reward to help boost wallets, because if you can speed up breeding using tokens anyways, a potion to speed up breeding versus giving the equivalent to tokens is almost the same thing, except the potion can't be dumped on the open market versus tokens can be. So it helps protect the price a little bit. But I think it should be twofold: protect the original people who have been investing in both Zoo tokens and Zoo eggs, and then reward new income, like new users that are incoming. So for me, it's more so about rewarding both new users, so you facilitate user growth, while also rewarding old users who have been through the trials and tribulations that Zoo's faced.
Yeah, that's a great point. I like that. Yo, Solaris, go for it.
At the same time, I think some whitelist spots for the next egg drop will make people to hold, to create a system. So, for example, if you sold your animals, you lose your whitelist spot. If not, you can get, I don't know, let's say few animals or few eggs or certain amount of tokens. You can get a whitelist spot for the next egg drop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. We all know that there's more egg drops coming with different themes and potential crossbreeding, and that's all. It seems quite far off, but I think it's going to approach, quite quickly. I think whitelist spots for the next egg drops, and maybe even potentially eggs for the big holders. That could be something really cool to incentivize people to stay within the project and invest long term in the game instead of exiting once marketing lands.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. I want to get into some more of the meat of the marketplace. I want to talk about prices. Let's bring Iffy up on for this conversation. Yo, Iffy, what's up?
Hello?
Technology, eh?
I reckon,
Okay, hopefully he can work out how to speak.
he might be AFK,
Okay, so
yeah.
well, yeah, all that. So for prices, guys, what do you think of the prices? Do you think? I personally think everything's slightly undervalued. Well, I guess in the long term, it's massively undervalued. But as for Zoo, I mean, to be fair, the prices of eggs, the floor eggs have just rocketed, right? But this is up like 8 mil in the past few days, which is like really nice to see.
No, hello.
Hello.
Yo, Iffy.
How's it going, guys? I don't know what
what's
happened
up?
there. I got a request and then it just lagged off for me.
No worries.
I was gonna get back to what you guys started talking about investors coming back from when we had 20,000 holders. I firmly believe all those investors left for a reason. You know, they expected stuff to come out sooner than they did, and they left. They're definitely coming back. You know, they got into this project for a reason, knowing that there'll be a yield. There'll potentially be a million different kinds of yields because you have all these breeding options and everything else with it. They were here for a reason at one point. They left because of waiting, all the, the bullshit we've all been going through, and all these large coins dropping too. They're trying to DCA into lower positions with everything else they have between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and if you've noticed in the past month or two is when we've had the biggest drops, and my assumption is they've all been trying to DCA into lower positions for their other coins while they're waiting. Once we have everything come out, and I believe they said breeding before yield, once even the breeding comes out and there's more speaking about it in like the actual open market, and not even talking about Logan yet, they're all going to start feeling their FOMO, and they're all going to see what they saw in the beginning to be able to reinvest back into. I think it's going to blow up a lot more once we have all these things available to us than it just did in the beginning too, even without Logan or any kind of large marketing forms, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think the amount of capital that will be funneled through for either people who have sold and they're waiting to buy back in my opinion, stupidly, right? Because they should just be buying in right now when it's cheap and not thinking, well, I'll buy back in when there's more clarification or when there's news. Because if they're buying back in when there's news, well, hey, if everyone else does that, then the price is just going to pump and they're buying the top, right? I guess in the long term, they're not, and hence why that's why they're buying. But I think if you just hodl at this price and you try and avoid that, oh, I'm just going to buy back when I see good things going or whatever. Like if you believe in it, you believe in it and you just buy. But I do agree with you, like the people who have sold or whatever, the amount of capital that will be funneled through over time is just going to be crazy.
Exactly. And like these holders also, they're still holding their animals and their eggs or whatever they bought. We haven't seen a heavy dip on really of that. I do know like commons are low and stuff, but as the ball's moving, we've 5x the floor price on BSC in the matter of less than a month now, just with the marketplace. And that's not with any incentive or utility base yet, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, one thing that caught my eye immediately when I first heard about this project and what ultimately made me buy in is I realized that the breeding is a FOMO machine. I promise you now, we all understand the virality of this concept and how quickly, sharing our breeded animals is going to spread. But I promise you right now, people who were in Zoo and sold Zoo and they only traded it as a micro cap altcoin for short-term gains, but understood the concept, when they're going to start seeing these sick animal combinations being posted on Twitter, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when the accounts post some of them, there's ones that I just want to fucking put on my wall. And when these make you money, I think it's a FOMO machine. So I think you're right. I think we're going to see a lot of people returning.
I'm definitely with you on that. Like I think it was the latest one, the butterfly panda. It looked awesome. Now, like I'm not going to say I'm not here for the breeding, but clearly most of us, or at least I'm here for the yield. We're in purchasing and investing to recuperate whatever we put in and plus some. That yield is going to be amazing when these common animals are so cheap right now. Even if you buy 5 of them, you're not just breeding at once. You have the ability to breed it 7 times to recuperate your funds. Oh, it was a butterfly penguin is what it was. We're not just recuperating the breeding once. You're doing it several times, and that's per 2 animals, and that's if you want to burn. There's just so many options, and all of these people got in for a reason, and they're going to come back for the same reason at one point.
Now that leads us to, have you guys actually purchased anything off the marketplace?
Great segue.
Who's
Personally,
been this money
no.
early?
Yeah, personally, I've been sweeping the floor. Anything that I see under a certain amount, I have been buying them up. I know a lot of us Zoo Rangers have. Captain Dan, I think, has 500 common animals now.
Damn.
Maybe not
Wait,
that
hang on,
many,
wait.
but he's got a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't think that many, but
Wait, hold the phone. What?
No, we
Yo.
not 500, but we've been definitely buying commons as soon as they drop low. That's amazing. If you get even just 2 commons, even though you're not going to end up with that mythical or legendary rare, you're getting the same yield you can off of uncommons. Like people are definitely underestimating the floor prices right now.
What I did do was I opted to pick up a panda, and I swept that bad boy for, I think, 45 million Zoo, which is
nice.
a steal, I think.
Yeah, massive steal. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's actually a really good
CryptoKing,
price.
have you bought much?
I have not purchased off of the new marketplace.
Okay.
I haven't hatched my eggs yet, which I was actually waiting for. I wanted to have the last unhatched eggs, but I think there's an unhatched egg that's trying to beat me to it.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a whole page for that one.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I couldn't believe that. I was super excited to have like one of the last eggs. I figured the unhatched eggs will appreciate rapidly
Yes.
when the floor price starts really moving. So, I've not purchased anything off the secondary marketplace, but I have purchased a bunch of eggs off of, not Uniswap, off of OS, OpenSea.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, Rudy, have you?
I have not. Now, I have a controversial reason for this. We were having a little chat about it before this started, but
We were.
do you guys think it is better to hold onto your Zoo tokens as Zoo price will, what's the word? Theoretically increase by whatever 10x, 25x, 50x, 100x, whatever, or is it better to buy a NFT and hold onto that? But would that NFT hold the same amount of Zoo token value once the Zoo token price goes up? Say, for example, the common floor right now is around 11 million, and Zoo tokens are hella cheap right now. So when Zoo token theoretically 50x's from here or whatever it does, would the floor price for common still be 11 million tokens, or would it decrease to 5 million tokens, or would it increase, say, 20 million tokens? What do you guys think about that?
So I can speak. I'm a high user of OpenSea and the ETH market. One ETH is one ETH. You know, if I'm selling something for 0.5, I'm not going to adjust that to the price. I can't speak on that in CryptoZoo yet because the marketplace is so new. But going in those terms, one ETH is one ETH. If the price goes up to $5,000, that's what I'm getting for it. I'm not going to drop my price according to the market.
Yeah,
Okay. So I know me and you, Rudy, we have like the same kind of opinion. So let's say, as you said, let's say the base is 10 million, right, for a common base. Sorry, the floor is 10 million. If the price 10x's, then in theory, obviously it would go this way exactly, but in theory, that would then be 1 million, right? Because the price is 10x'd. So it's the exact same, whether it's a certain price for 10 million for the common base, and then a month later, the price 10x's, in theory, that base should be 1 million, right? So if you have, let's say, 50 million Zoo in your wallet, if you think, well, I could buy 5 animals right now for 10 million for the floor, and you could buy up the floor. But if you're confident in Zoo and you're confident in the project, I think long term you're better holding Zoo because the price of Zoo would be a lot higher. So then let's say in a month's time, let's say now bases are going for 1 million because the price of Zoo is higher. And then in theory, what if it's only 1 million, then you can then buy 50. Do you kind of understand that logic? Obviously it doesn't work exactly like that, but I think as the price of Zoo goes up, in theory you'll see the marketplace actually drop. Right now we're seeing it increase, but that's because the Zoo price is going down. So it's like an alternative thing with the Zoo and actually the marketplace.
I disagree with you, and the reason for that is the demand. I mean, if you're going to see a 10x of Zoo, it's because the demand rapidly shot up of new adopters or new investors into the project.
Sure.
And I think the demand's going to correlate not 1-to-1, but to the animals and the eggs. So I think also the holders are not going to want to let them go at that ratio. I think they're going to sell it, and the demand's going to be there to eat it up and push the floor up. So I don't think if Zoo 10x's, I don't think the floor of the base animals or the base eggs are going to 10x, but I think they're going to move up, with some kind of a ratio.
Yeah, I agree with Dexo more on that one as well. And I've been buying animals with my Zoo lately. I know sitting on the Zoo is going to be amazing long term, but as the price goes up, that yield is going to recuperate back into my wallet as well. So between me,
Remember, yield, you have to burn the animal to claim the yield, remember?
Of course, and that makes me feel more comfortable about burning commons rather than burning rares, which is why I'm floor sweeping at that point. So every week, I'm using some of my paycheck to put back into Zoo every week. And with that difference, I'm being able to buy more commons or more lower priced animals, and then also continuously put money into the account, into the Zoo token. So I'm kind of splitting it right down the middle. I'm not like blowing everything on animals right away. Of course, I'm holding a wallet, but I back to that, I agree with Dexo that it's not gonna drop down the marketplace as much because everyone's gonna want to hold the floor price. That they want their token to go up. They want everything to rise with the token rising. You know.
I completely agree, but there's also a multitude of factors that need to be considered. Dexo obviously highlighted that as more people come into the space, the value of the token will rise, but will the value of the egg stay at the same price, or will it drop in the same ratio? Drop 90%, move up 10x in price, that type of thing. But one thing we're not considering is the Zoo market cap is not fixed, but the Zoo token supply is. So the token supply is fixed at what it is, but if the team releases more eggs every, let's say, 2, 3, 6 months, the new eggs will invigorate more people coming into the ecosystem, but it may or may not hold the NFT actual value's price. Whereas as more people enter the ecosystem, the Zoo overall token value should appreciate. Similarly, as utilities implemented for the Zoo token, the price should appreciate. So more users into the ecosystem as more eggs are released could drive down the NFT value while driving up the Zoo token value. So just one interesting thing to consider.
Which also works in line with the burn. We have burned, I believe, over 1 billion. Someone please correct me. I'm not looking at Discord at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's about that. I know it's a lot.
Yeah, we've definitely been pumping the burn too, which is going to go right back into what King's stating.
Yo, Ben, man, what's up? The man, the myth, legend.
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing
Doing well,
good, man.
man.
How are you?
Doing well. Just on a Zoom call right now, but right now I'm not in charge of speaking, so I just popped in and wanted to give everyone a shout out. And I'll set up an AMA as well, so that way I can dedicate more time to everyone to answer everyone's questions. And shout out to the whole community, the mods, Joao, Dexo, Macho, LB, Wes, Jake, for really holding it down. Shout out to the CryptoZoo community page. You guys are absolutely rock stars.
Especially Jake overseas right now. He's went back to training camp for his army duty.
Jake's an absolute
Thanks, man. Yeah. Straight back at you, Ben. I think things are going up from here. You know, everything's looking really positive. We're loving the new news with the blah 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 with the dev team. Everything's looking really positive. I think it's up from here only, really.
Man, I have so much to I have so much to say. It's but I wish I didn't have to be on this Zoom call right now. I could talk for about an hour and a half with the stuff that I have to say.
Save it for that BSC Times interview.
Yes, definitely want to get that set up for sure.
Definitely keep some secret information for them, so a lot more people will be listening on that. They have many followers, so I think that's a great idea. Save some secret stuff to blow up on there.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out to CryptoKing for coming on here, man. Really appreciate it, brother.
Of course, Ben. Always a pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Yo, Ben, before you go, can you say who's on this this particular Zoom call?
No, I can't. I can't.
It's worth a try.
Honestly, no answer is probably better than an answer. If he could tell us, it probably wouldn't be anyone exciting.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough.
It's hype. We got good stuff coming. But I gotta pop off. If you guys are still on by the time it ends, hopefully soon, then I'll pop back on.
Sweet, man. Thanks for joining.
I'll be back.
Easy. Cheers, Ben.
All right, one thing I wanted to ask you guys, what do you make of the KSI Logan Paul Prime Drink Fiesta, and what are the odds that KSI at some point gets involved in CryptoZoo at all?
I have never seen...
Go on.
Oh, sorry, I'll let you go.
Okay. I was just going to say, like, I'm a big fan of both, right? I love KSI, I love Logan. I think they've got to, right? They come together with everything. Their social power and influence, even alone, is huge, right? And we're here for Logan. Imagine now both. I think at some point KSI will 100% get involved in some kind of CryptoZoo thing, whether he owns one or he gets involved in breeding or whatever. I think it's inevitable, right? At some point, KSI is going to own a CryptoZoo NFT. I said it here first.
I 100% agree that he's going to own it and hold it because he's a huge NFT and a huge crypto farmer.
He is.
But I have never to this day seen him promote anything crypto related or NFT related. So
That's one thing.
With that being said, I don't believe he's going to promote it unless, of course, it's like a paid thing with Logan, a brand, something. But I see him more as a holder and an asset where, like, he's not someone that's promoting rugs or promoting this and that and blowing up. So if he does, that'll speak loud words, but you never know.
Yeah, there's
I
only
do agree
one
with
thing
Iffy.
he go for it, really.
I don't think we'll see KSI promoting anything to do with CryptoZoo, but I definitely think he, if not, already holds an egg or a base animal or two. We've seen the two come together, and it's I wouldn't. It would be quite interesting to see why he would actually promote it, considering we haven't seen him promote anything NFT related. I know he's talked a lot about different cryptocurrencies, different altcoins, this and that on his crypto Twitter account. But I think he might just do it, but who knows, really.
I mean, I think promote's a strong word, right? I think he'll speak about it at some point, whether that's on his YouTube or whether that's on Twitter or whatever. I don't think he'll necessarily promote or do any kind of promotion deal with Logan, no. But I think at some point he'll mention it and probably speak about it. And at some point that's more eyes on CryptoZoo, and that's better for the holders, it's better for the community, and that's more for people to join the CryptoZoo family and like really get on board with what's coming. And I think that's only good for everyone.
Exactly. Even if, say, KSI breeds something and he posts that breed, that would be absolutely amazing.
Exactly, and more people can join and they can fall in love with CryptoZoo like we have, and hopefully he would. And basically what the CryptoZoo mission is, right? It's for people to fall in love with the project and having some fun with NFTs.
XJ, shout out for having me on, brother, but I do have to jump off. Wish you guys the best in the rest of the conversation, and hope the community has some awesome questions coming up.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks for joining on.
Have a good
Cheers,
night.
bro.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one, man.
Thanks,
Good
guys.
night,
Take it
Dex.
easy.
Okay, we'll use that time to get some people on board. So if you want to have a chat with us, ask us some questions, request to speak, there should be a button at the bottom of the screen, and I can accept it, and let's have a chat.
I'm just surprised you guys haven't bought from the marketplace. I think we should all buy an animal right now.
That's a big request. Look, I've got a strategy, right, and I'm sticking to it. I do aim to buy some. I'll probably end up buying it on YouTube. So hey, follow me at CryptoXJ on YouTube, subscribe. But I have a bit more of a strategy than buying it. Clearly, if you have a lot more zoo than me, my man.
I wouldn't say that. Like I said, I've been trying to keep it in both places. I've been trying to allocate funds so I can push it back and forth. I got to bridge some stuff tonight because I did another airdrop claim today. So that's just more free zoo for my wallet, hopefully to pick up another animal or two tonight.
Yo, what's up? Good, man. What was your question or topic you want to speak about, man? Yo, did you have a question?
I think we lost him. I don't see another speaker.
Is
No
it?
worries.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
We can now.
Did you have a question or just joining the conversation?
Quick, I think you muted yourself by accident.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's connecting. I think he's dropped out. Okay, let's move on. Yo, what's up? Monsieur. Oh no, everyone's getting shy. They're requesting and they're dipping.
Happens. Have you guys
Yo,
purchased
Dan.
any eggs?
Dan won't be shy. He'll jump on. Yo, what's up,
Yo,
Dan?
Joe.
Morning.
Good morning.
Or evening for you guys.
Yeah, it's evening for me, but good morning, man.
What's going on?
Hello, Dan. Welcome. Just
So then, tell us your secrets, man. We heard you had 500 animals.
Right. Firstly, I'll clear up that unfounded rumor. It's not 500.
Yeah.
It's 600.
It's not
600.
It's not 600. Sorry, hang on a second. I've got to tell my son's just
He
come
owns
running
the entire marketplace.
in. No, so, all right. You can check who's got what, right? So you can see the top holder's got 107 animals. We believe we know who that is. Not going to say the name. You guys probably know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And look, I would do that if I could, given if you've seen what happened at Bored Apes Yacht Club, how one dude literally had like 1,000 and just did his best to control the market and had crazy amounts of money, right? The idea is you manipulate or monopolize what you can and you set the floor. And I've been buying up, so I've got a wallet that has my animals, and that's just they're being held and nothing's ever going to be touched there. And then I've got my breeding, trading, buying, selling, buying wallet, because I kind of semi have opinions on what you guys said about if Zoo 10Xs, what do the animals do? So you're thinking that Zoo 10Xs, and that means that, and going back to your 10 mil floor of a common, right? There's no
in theory, right?
No
Right,
way.
yeah.
Of course, there are a lot of other.
Not a chance.
A lot of
other.
other.
An animal then the floor becomes 1 million Zoo. The US dollar price is what you're assuming there is going to stay. It just won't happen because firstly, I'll just buy everything that comes at 1 million or 2 million.
Yeah, but it won't be though, right? Because the price will be a lot higher.
The US dollar.
So let's go to
the US dollar value would be higher if it stays at 10 mil. But people aren't going to go, oh well, my 10 million Zoo. I paid 8 million Zoo for this. I'm now going to sell it for 1 million Zoo because the price has increased of the Zoo token. So I understand that.
So if the price 20x's, let's say Zoo 20x's from here, right? Yep. You don't think that the floor's going to drop in the amount of Zoo? So you think that the floor will stay at 10 million?
It won't drop.
I don't believe it's going to drop as hard as you're assuming, but it'll go a little lower. But like Dan's stating, Zoo is Zoo. You know, if I paid 10 million Zoo for something, I'm hoping for 10 million Zoo in return. If that price quadrupled, that's fucking awesome. You know, we made profit and everyone else is hopefully making the same.
Yeah.
My
only thing, the only reason why I don't think that's the case, where if Zoo token 10x's and so does the NFTs, the reason I don't think it will is because newcomers won't be able to put that much money in to actually buy the NFT. Because if Zoo token 10x's and so does the actual NFT itself, you know, how much money does a newcomer have to actually put in to buy said, you know, NFT?
Well, one BNB right now gets you what, like 19, 20 million Zoo?
It's ridiculous. I remember it barely gave 1 million.
Like, yeah, same. Back in the old days.
if we 5x from here, which is pretty easy, you'd think. So you get 4 million for your BNB. So that, give or take, means that commons then cost 2 BNB near enough.
Yeah.
People aren't going to go, oh, well, I'll take, half of what the floor is right now, because people in their head are greedy. People will take a slight cut on, like, I paid 10 mil, I'll sell for 8 mil because the price is 5x, whatever. But there's only a limited supply. There's 5,800, is it, give or take, BSC eggs and animals in combination. Half of the eggs have hatched. That means that there's only 2,000. Actually, I'm looking at it now. 2,687 animals available. Right, they're between 1,050 wallet holders. So 1,050 wallet holders in the BSC chain. We've heard that there's probably not. The bridge probably won't come before breeding, etc., etc. So you've got 2,600 animals. Maybe that goes to 4,500 because I don't really think every single egg's going to hatch. Like CryptoKing said, he's going to keep his. I know the last unhatched egg on Twitter, he's saying he will never hatch. Yeah. He's going to have other people that will never hatch because they're hoping in a year or 2 or 3, a Gen 1 egg is going to be $1 million or whatever. Right, so there will be a.
I definitely want to keep one myself that I don't want to hatch. So do you have eggs that you don't want to hatch, Dan, or do you just hatch them, or you just want as many commons?
I bought 3 eggs, hatched 2, keeping 1, never touching it. Bought another 1 for my other wallet. So
sweet.
There's 20,000 wallet holders. Let's just say that means that there's 15,000 actual people. Those 15,000 actual people are all going to want animals. They're all going to want to breed, and they can't breed with 1 animal. They've got to get 2. So that means that there's a 30,000 demand for animals and a supply of initially 5,000. Like that in my head is why I'm going, I got to buy as many as I can, and I don't care if they're the shittest ones, because eventually that's going to be the entry point.
Yes, I'm the exact same.
New people.
I said this a while ago. Like rares and super rares and whatever. Like, yeah, it's cool to have them, but I think, I mean, as you said, the buying point for whoever wants to join, whether it'll be the masses that will be coming into CryptoZoo and the CryptoZoo ecosystem, right? They will all be buying the commons. They will all be buying the floors to try and get in and work their way up, like Axie Infinity, work their way up, and then they can then get the uncommons and the rares, the super rares, and have fun, right? But to even enter the ecosystem at some point, it will be quite costly, and yeah, they'll be buying floor. So I'm exactly at that point, and I said that quite a while ago. That was kind of my strategy, and that's kind of what I'm waiting for. But I'm stupidly waiting for the markets to kind of drop just a little bit, and I want to snipe some commons for my entry point's about 7 to 8 mil. But I'm not sure if it's going to go back there, so I don't know.
Your entry point will be, I think everyone would want there, right? But I'm just looking at now the market. There's 2 pugs at 11 mil. Then it jumps to 12.5 mil. So if someone buys that literally, or both of those, you've literally got 10 to 15% floor price increase instantly. Like I gambled, right? Like I've gone, fuck it, and just bought animals and animals and animals. Because if the game does pop off, man, people won't be able to buy animals. It's simple. You control the market, and no one gets in. And I've been wrong plenty of times before, so it's probably going to be the same here. But if they deliver what they've said they're going to deliver, this will be huge.
100%. That was a speech and a half. Thank you very much for your input. I'm just gonna move on to some other people. Just some other people can have a chat if that's all right, Dan. Let me just accept a few other people. Yo, Skip, man. Yo, Skip.
Yo, how's it going?
Yo.
So I just kind of wanted to hop on and kind of ask you guys what your thoughts are on Minigames, and if you have any ideas and just thoughts on how those are going to look.
Minigames, yeah, great. We haven't really got onto that yet. Rudy, do you want to go for it?
Absolutely no idea. it could be anything, bro. We could see something like Flappy Bird. We could see something like Crossy Road, or we could see something like GTA 5 for all I know. Like we don't, we have absolutely no idea. We haven't seen any sneak peeks. It really does depend on whether they do make it a downloadable game like Axie Infinity is. Obviously, you download that off Metaverse, but it could be an online game, and we've seen other NFT projects do online games before. It really is. They mentioned there is a multiplayer feature, so it could be like it's not going to be like a Tetris thing, but it could be like a 1v1 kind of thing where you both put up, say, 1,000,000 zoo to play, and then the winner takes all. It's honestly the ideas you come up with. You could write it down and document, and you just never stop writing because the ideas are just ridiculous. But I do think, in all reality, it will be something along the lines of what was that game called?
The only hint we've been given right now is that it will be some kind of battle, right? Because we've been told of a coliseum and some kind of battle arena and attributes, right? So some of the NFTs will have attributes of speed and like laziness and different things, right? So I think we'll see some kind of mini game where you can strategically place. Yeah, exactly. But as for mini games, it's exactly as you said, Rudy. It could be literally from Flappy Bird to GTA. Like that's the beauty of CryptoZoo. It could be anything. And then when you enter the word when you enter the word metaverse, that keyword, that just opens up a whole new realm of possibilities, right?
A whole new door.
CryptoZoo, exactly. It could just be anything. CryptoKing, do you have anything to say on mini games? Or the metaverse, I guess.
Yeah, so I think the mini games are going to emulate the crypto and NFT games right now that are most popular. We've obviously all seen the Zed Runner, the horse racing game. There's a couple other really popular NFT games, and we know they're coming out with multiple games for the CryptoZoo Metaverse. I don't know which one will be rolled out first, but I'm sure there'll be something along the lines of a racing game. We were hinted at something along the lines of like a battle royale, Coliseum battling game. So I'm sure we're going to get something along the lines of a battling game where the animals have different attributes, where the lion's more fierce or stronger than a blobfish, but the blobfish performs better underwater. So depending on what Coliseum you're fighting in or what landmark you're fighting in, the animals are stronger or weaker. Same thing with racing. One animal could be faster on land versus in water. So I think they're going to have fun playing with the different lands that you can go to in the metaverse. And also,
Pokemon.
Yes, and Pokemon. We know Logan loves Pokemon. So we know that there's many different attributes that Pokemon have for like a battle royale type of game. And so I'm sure that he's going to build that into his game as well.
Yeah. Sweet. Beautifully put. Iffy?
Hello.
Some of your thoughts on mini games?
I've thought of so many different things that they could actually do. If it's not a card-based game, which I feel like maybe something they'll implement first, because I'm not going to say easy, but it's a easier push out than an actual digital art or 3D game. I don't even know. I feel like a card game may be one of the simplest forms for them to push out. Again, I'm not saying simple in creating it or something like that, but just for us to get something out quick, because I know they said not everything's launching at once when we have games. It'll be small pushes and then updates to those pushes as well. It'd be really cool to have a Zoo Tycoon based, which is what I'm praying for. Like, not only can I buy my own animals, I could potentially buy land in this metaverse that they keep speaking about. I could buy different ecosystems to put my animals in, and you know how they have like lore and they have like parts. Like, can I buy a food truck type of thing? Like, that'd be pretty cool if they can create an entire metaverse around a tycoon style.
I love that. And lastly, Solaris. Mini games. Would you like to add to the pot of many ideas?
I don't know if I have any idea, but I'm thinking more like we don't see the bigger picture. I think we are just focusing on mini games and short term, but I think in the long term, like if you said, next step is gonna be a land sale. I don't know, in my opinion, and you can create your own zoo. And imagine having a hybrid, and your identity in the metaverse is gonna be a hybrid, and you're gonna interact uh, with other games or other worlds with your hybrid. So basically, my idea is that all this thing that is happening with CryptoZoo, it's, let's put it like that. Everybody's running now to save the spot and to conquer a space in the metaverse. So like there is another game like Mafia game that is claiming that it's gonna have monopole on all the mafia in the metaverse. So pretty much the same thing is doing CryptoZoo with Animal Kingdom. So they will pin the flag on everything that is related with animals, with zoos and everything in the metaverse. They will have the monopole on it. So pretty much the bigger picture, I think this is saving the spot for metaverse.
I love the idea of land. That you can, as you said, that you can create your own kind of zoo, and you can have your identity attached to that, whether you're a zookeeper or whether you're some kind of other NFT or the owner of a certain piece of land or whatever it is. Like, again, limitless. Like the possibilities are legit limitless, whether that's the metaverse or whether that's land. Well, I guess land is the metaverse. Anything with mini games, it's just so many possibilities, and
Yeah,
I think that's what really proves the longevity of CryptoZoo, like multiple years.
I feel like what Solaris and I are both speaking about are less mini games and more long term. I'm having a hard time trying to wrap my head around a mini game because they keep speaking so highly of the metaverse within the next year or two, and that's a huge, awesome push. Think of it in the way of like I have my zoo that I purchased my land for, and you guys come to my zoo. Now I own all this land. You guys can put your animals on my zoo, and I retrieve a yield for you guys utilizing my space, and you guys retrieve, maybe let's call it a 70-30, 60-40 split or something. Not just the yield you get from the animal, but like extra potentials in the future. Like you said, anything can happen.
Absolutely love that. And tying that to Axie Infinity, they do a very similar thing, right? Where you can rent out your animals to other people, and they can use them to fight or whatever, and then you can take a cut out of that. So exactly as you said, you could have it where I have some land, people can come to my land and put their animals there, and let's say that they get something back, like it speeds up the breeding time or the hatching time or whatever, and then they also pay some kind of fee for you. Exactly as you said, Iffy, like it's crazy what they can do, and I think that really proves long term just how valuable CryptoZoo is and the assets within the ecosystem. Thank you so much, Skip. That was amazing. Do you want to add anything to that before we go to someone different?
I mean, that was awesome. I'd say one other thing that you guys kind of got me thinking of with that is, with these mini games, how do you picture the rewards within them? Do you think there's going to be some where you wager on the game? I know you guys mentioned that a little bit, but like what other types of rewards would there be to actually play the game? Any thoughts on that?
I'm assuming there's a potential you could even play for animals. Like, do they really want to implement, I guess, a fighting style, or like even if they do the card game, do you want to do a 12-round duel for one animal or something? Like, people set their own offers up. Like, I'll put up my orca, you put up your elk, and we go out and like a soup. Have you guys ever heard or played Super Auto Pets?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it could be a fighting style where like you have a row of animals in front of you. They have health, they have add-ons, and they fight each other. And at the end of it, potentially you guys can bet on zoo, which Skip mentioned, or you could even bet on animals.
Interesting. It's almost like racing cars and and racing for the pink slips.
Yeah, for real.
Mhm.
Yes, very similar. Okay, Skip, you can stay as a speaker if you want. I think we got like 10 people. I think I can add. So let's add someone else to join the chat. Yo, Ruben. What's up? You're muted.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Hello, man.
Nice to speak.
I can indeed.
Well done for hosting. It's an exciting thing to be part of, especially when there's not too much being released, etc.
Yeah, thanks, man. My pleasure.
I guess what I wanted to talk about, because I am basically like a Logan Paul fan first, is what kind of form of marketing are you guys expecting? I know the word movie's been kind of thrown around recently, or are you expecting like a series, or what do you think's in the line?
Okay,
I think yeah, there's
Everyone
a
jump
lot
into
of
the
There we go.
speculation on this one.
All right. I want to just quickly mention, if you on Logan Paul, you want to know when he's gonna make this ad or whatever he's gonna do. When you go on his channel, you can see that he did a video advertisement for what is it, Prime, the drink company, and you watch it and it's like a trailer almost, or like a teaser of what to expect with the thing. I think it will be very similar, if not the same route they do with CryptoZoo. Just a simple
enough.
YouTube video, Instagram live, stuff like that.
I think very different. I think it's going to be a lot more personal. I think it's going to be a lot more story driven. I think it's going to be, I think the commercial itself is going to be a good 20, 30-minute movie video. I don't say movie as in where they show like what we've been through and everything. I mean it more as a movie as like what they've done so far, where they're going, the metaverse, NFTs and crypto. I think a lot of the video will be focused on crypto and NFTs in general, so that Logan can really get across his audience, just NFTs in general, right? Because there's probably going to be a lot of his audience that are like, well, I've heard about this, but how do I get involved and everything? And that's one of Logan's like biggest missions, right? Is to get people into crypto and like NFTs and like fall in love with it as much as he has. So I think that's what's mainly going to come. I think we're going to see a lot of traveling in that video of him with the orcas and the pandas and all of the animals he's been with the past few months. Because I know he's been putting a lot of time into the traveling aspects of the commercial and actually going to see the animals and things. I think that's probably going to be the main majority of the marketing. And then everything else will be Instagram, Twitter, him just spreading the word on his project, his baby that he's been creating for the last few months and trying to get it out there, And I think it'll be a constant thing. Something like Prime, it's a product, right? It's something that he will sell, he'll do very well on. And that's now attached to his brand for a good few years. Something like CryptoZoo, I think it's like a constant thing, right? Every like 2-3 impulsive episodes, CryptoZoo will probably be mentioned, right? Some kind of crazy thing in the news where some guy hatched, 2 blobfishes in a row or something crazy, where you probably won't really see him mention Prime too much on the podcasts from now on, right? So I think it's going to be a constant thing attached to his brand, full-blown marketing.
I do hope so. That is a good way to look at it.
I agree with you. I think, with Prime, what I did enjoy seeing was kind of like the style of video. So I know like Kevin's obviously his videographer, and there was like a slight change in like the style of the video. But I think that Prime is just like a short-term release, and obviously he's free to make money how he wants to, and Prime is probably a way of doing that. But it's not a distinguishable kind of product. There's different influences with drinks, but I think CryptoZoo will be something unique in the space. And I think what kind of scares me sometimes is the fact that the longer this project holds off from fully launching, the market gets saturated. Like Nelk talk about releasing an NFT, And
Yep.
although we know, like within this group, that they probably won't release anything as good as CryptoZoo, they have a massive like influence right now. So hopefully, as time goes on, the need to make CryptoZoo distinguishable increases.
The last thing I'll add on to that, I think Logan said himself that CryptoZoo has already, if not will, but mostly already has turned into something more than him. Right, CryptoZoo's turned into something more than Logan Paul. Of course, he will be the face of it, and it's his project and his idea, which has come into fruition and becoming amazing. And hopefully, we'll see what's to come, which will be a lot. But I think, I'm pretty sure he said on the talk a few months back that it's already turned into more than him, more than Logan Paul, more than his brand. And I think that's great to hear. And I think that shows the longevity of CryptoZoo, more than just an influencer, NFT, dip and go. So yeah, I think full scale marketing. CryptoKing,
So-
any thoughts on that?
So we know Logan likes to be super, he's a marketing genius. There's absolutely no
Yep.
doubt about that. And he doesn't like to reveal his hand before he reveals it. So the only thing he's been consistent on since day one, he's consistent on everything, but the one thing he's mainly consistent on is he doesn't want to begin the marketing until the product's ready. So
Yes.
I think regardless of if he turns it into a movie or a YouTube series or just makes a couple major commercials for his YouTube channel and for Twitter, I think we can't expect anything marketing-wise until we have our yield out, until we have the marketplace fully fine-tuned, until the breeding's live. I'm hoping we don't have to wait until the mini-games are out. But the one thing I do know is he's been very consistent on when there's a game ready to be marketed and to be played, he'll market it. But as we've seen, we haven't had something, we've had delays, lots of delays. So I'm looking forward to the marketing as much as anyone, and I'm truly excited to see which avenue he takes with it.
I
Completely agree.
100% agree with that and understand that. The one thing I'm going to say to Ruben from the question you asked about what type of marketing, and we keep hearing the word movie be thrown around. I think that's more based on all the hurdles and struggles that we've had to get to this point, and then also so on. I think when you hear the word, or like Ben state, this is a movie, like we can make a movie out of this, it's not going to be the marketing. That's going to be more based
Yes.
around everybody freaking out, all these contract changes, the stuff behind the scenes that we have ideas on. But I think it's not going to be, this is just personal what I believe. I don't think it's going to be a YouTube series. I do believe, of course, once his marketing hits the ground, it's not going to be a one-time thing. He's going to promote the fuck out of it. He's going to know what he has and know what other people can obtain out of it. He's definitely going to make
podcast.
We know he's traveled for this CryptoZoo video. Between the egg pictures that we have, we're making assumptions about the orca swimming, which it's hard to fight against. But I believe we're going to get a very nice showcase of marketing once that does happen. But it's not going to be a movie of a marketing strategy or something to come out based on that. That's long-term type of how we got here type of thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Logan being in the Discord? You know how Gary V in his Discord, he's wicked active. Do you guys picture Logan kind of being active to Gary's level in our Discord?
I just want to say Gary replied to me once, and ever since then my life changed. But because of also what CryptoKing said, everybody loves to hate the name Logan Paul. I understand why he's not here, and he has someone like Ben have no face and come in here and help us. He's not someone like Gary V. Sure, you can call him famous and you can say this and that, and Gary V does have millions and billions of followers, but Logan's someone to hate on, and there's a good reason he's not in here every day.
Yeah, good point. One more topic I kind of want to bring up is, and you guys are probably all more technical than I am, so you'll probably have a maybe more precise kind of estimate. Who do you think the new team are that Zoo is collaborating with? Like, if I'm not mistaken, Ben, who is in the the audience right now, so if I get anything wrong, my bad. But he described it as a household name, or use a phrase of magnitude to describe the team. And I understand if you don't appreciate the speculation on that, but if anybody's got anything to say on the, who are kind of household names or big names in the NFT space, because I don't know that type of thing.
What's up, guys? I'm back.
Yeah, Ben.
Hello. Hopefully Ben himself can tell us.
Can you ask your question again?
It's an honor.
Can you ask your question again, brother?
So, I mean, yeah, I kind of directly, I'm not expecting a straight up answer, which is fair. But I was just going to ask the guys, who they are predicting the collab on the new dev team could be potentially. Because for me, I'm not overly technical and kind of lack any deep knowledge and, developers or teams within the NFT space. So I was kind of asking for some more knowledge.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, in regards to that, for the new dev team, we definitely, absolutely do have plans to reveal who it is. Right now, our major focus overall for CryptoZoo is to hone in on the marketplace, make it extremely scalable, and make it have all of the bells and whistles that a marketplace should have, with all the filters and stuff like that. And as we in the future have, for example, egg drops, there's going to be a lot of infrastructure needed to support all that stuff. From personal experience, in CryptoZoo, we've seen kind of the ups and downs of having such potential virality for what it is that we're doing. So right now we're extremely focused on making sure that we're optimizing hatching, optimizing the marketplace, making sure that we lock down the breeding and stuff like that. So the plan to kind of talk about the dev team, it's pretty big, in my opinion. So, and I think it'll kind of turn a lot of eyes onto our project. And so my gut feeling is we're going to see a very big influx of people join the ecosystem because of that. And we just want to be ready for it before, we kind of let everybody know, the whole world, hey, so this is what's going on. We want to prepare because it's not just running just starting up a regular server and just buying more servers and stuff like that. There's smart contracts, there's blockchain stuff involved, there's 100 million different things that could go wrong, and if one of them goes wrong, then it's not very fun. So right now we're super honed in on infrastructure and stuff like that, and we're really happy that the marketplace for the most part has had a 100% uptime with no downtime. So that's really good news, and we're scaling and optimizing it. Actually, I'll correct what I said. We did have a little bit of a downtime when things were. But it wasn't us. We actually cracked 150,000 transactions in 24 hours, or blockchain interactions, and so we upped that to 60 million. And so right now everything's looking good, and we're finalizing some stuff on our end about the marketplace and making it look really good and pretty and make hatching cool and stuff like that. So, but we'll announce it hopefully sooner rather than later.
You only get one true chance, right? You want to do it properly.
Exactly.
And I think that's your main goal. Like, you can only do this properly once, and once you open the floodgates, whether that's floodgates to tens of thousands of people, or whether that's floodgates to letting the whole world know about certain things or who's involved, you only get to do that once, right? And if you've got loads of things going wrong in the process, then that's just a recipe for disaster. So I completely understand you want to do this properly. And I think in the long term, we'll all be glad that you did take the time to really get things down so that the launch and everything is really successful and as little errors are made in the process, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, from personal experience, we want to make sure that everything's smooth, especially with the kind of reach potential that we're going to be utilizing. We want to make sure that we're 115% ready.
Love to hear that. Okay, very last topic / question.
Yeah.
Can I?
Sorry, Aiden, go for it, Aiden.
Is it okay if I just butt in and ask something to Ben? And forgive me if this is kind of overly personal, but I was just wondering how you got involved in this type of project and like what, since you left school or whatever, like what you've been up to get into something like this. Because like as a young guy interested in the space, it's just kind of like an interesting question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Overall, dude, I can just tell you, number one is be an honest person. People will look into that honesty, and it'll take you a long way. Number two is, socialize and network and put yourself out there. And number three is, most importantly, make friends, not enemies. And so, and also number four is share your knowledge. So if you do all those things, I think you will attract people to you, and in return, those people will reach out to you, and want your involvement in something that they're doing, or vice versa, want to be involved in something that you're doing. Like for example, even before Zoo, I've had a lot of projects reach out to me. Not a lot, just a little bit, but now there's a lot of projects that are reaching out to me. But I love the Zoo, so, and
let's go.
Yeah, so Logan's also a friend, and friends shake hands and do friendly stuff to each other and have each other's back. So that's what it's about.
Great, thanks.
And to be
go for it.
On top of that too, I just believe in what CryptoZoo can be and what it will be. Everybody thinks hatching, breeding, and yielding animals is what it's about, but that's just the first kind of, when you're walking across, when you're window shopping and you just take a quick little peep, but that's 1% of what it's about, and the crazy stuff that we have built. It's really cool, and I can tell you 2022 is going to be absolutely massive for the CryptoZoo ecosystem, and things are just going to become exponentially faster, and in regards to releases and stuff like that. We're setting up for a really, really big 2022, no doubt.
So what you're saying is to buy more Zoo?
No, I am not. No, I am not. I am what I am saying is that the CryptoZoo ecosystem is looking very optimistic.
Just following up on what Ruben asked before about like the partnership, I'm not entirely sure. Like XJ said that obviously you want to do it right the first time, but drip feeding to say there's like a big partnership wouldn't actually be like detrimental to the community if you actually did let it out. Obviously there was some photos of like who they've apparently worked with float about, so people have made their own decisions, and if you research hard enough you can sort of find out where that photo comes from. What's sort of holding you back from actually telling everyone who it is?
Yeah, so it's a good question. I just kind of spoke on that. In a nutshell, we just want to be ready. We know this will turn heads, and we know that there is a likelihood of experiencing a user influx to CryptoZoo ecosystem, and once this first cat is out the bag, then there's more cats to follow, and we just want to make sure before we knock over the dominoes that we're ready in what it is that we're going to be doing, and ready for this for the wave, So
Yep.
take some time, and personally, I know we've been up and down, but up and down in regards to the ecosystem and stuff like that, but it's extremely optimistic. We're on multiple phone calls a day, and we're absolutely crushing it.
So when it comes to the directive of the actual project, do you have does that mostly come from Eddie these days, or do you have does Logan have an input every couple of weeks or something, or is there how's that tracking?
Yeah, so great question. So the input is from so there's two aspects to it, right? There's the vision, and then there's the execution, right? Mm-hmm. Logan is a very good visionary, and we align on a lot of the vision for CryptoZoo, which is really grand. And then there's the execution side of things. So execution is dev, and this dev team that we've brought on. There is a few people who are involved in the execution of that vision and making that come to fruition. I know that rhymes, but that's kind of the game plan, is to kind of align both worlds together, synchronize them, and execute firmly and as quickly as possible, but as secure as possible on that vision. Your question was, is he involved? Yeah, absolutely. I talk to him a few times a week.
No, very good. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's a great point to leave it. I just want to thank absolutely everyone. Thank you Dan, Skip, for all of your great questions. Thank you, Ben, for joining. Thank you, CryptoKing, who's left now, but for joining. Thank you to my fellow hosts, IIFFYY, Rudy, Solaris, and Dex, who had to go. Thank you, everyone. This is just the start of a huge journey, and it's only up from here.
Hey, if you want, is there a way you could pass the lead to me, and I can just kind of hang out in here for a little and chat it up with some people if they want?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'll end the recording here, so I can upload it to YouTube. But I can stay in with you guys, and I have no reason to go.
Yeah.
It's half 11 for me, but do you want to keep on going?
Yeah, I mean, I do have a question. Is everyone Australian?
Yes.
Aiden is Australian. Rudy is.
You know what I love?
A few Aussies here.
Dude, you guys,
I've never seen a kangaroo in my life outside of a zoo.
Mate,
what I will say is that you guys are the most diehard PvPers. When I used to play WoW.
Oh, we know.
You guys are diehard PvPers, and I absolutely fucking love it. Excuse my French.
That's so good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, there's millions of roos, mate. They're not a thing you don't see. You see one nearly every day if you live out in the country.
It better be a gentle animal.
I think Joao has a question. Was that what he means when someone does a wave or something? Does that mean they have a question?
Yeah, usually. Has he requested to be speaker?
Oh yeah, guys, if you want to jump on.
If you guys have some questions, feel free.
Yo, Slow Hank, what's up, man? Yo, so Hank, you're muted.
I'm gonna send this into Discord really quick.
Yeah, we can keep going for a little bit longer. There's no way I can pass it over to you, Ben, but we can keep on going, man.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna send this space in Discord. Hold on the announcements. Hold on.
Okay, slow Hank. He left. Let me just invite you back.
Before the next person comes in, can we get some clarification if breeding will come before utility or after utility? Just to quickly, once and for all.
What do you mean? What do you mean breeding before utility?
Which will come first?
Breeding before yield.
Yield. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yield.
Oh, yield. Well, I mean, right? So hybrids also yield tokens. So ideally, the answer is breeding. But it is definitely possible that they can potentially come at the same time. I'm not saying that they will, but they should be coming in. They will be coming in quick succession within one another for sure.
That's dope.
And Ben, whilst you're also here, I'll take the time to ask my own question.
I'm here for now, bro. I'm hanging out.
Sweet, man. Okay, would you say February is looking more likely for breeding and yielding than any other month? So we spoke earlier on our kind of speculation. I think we all come to agreement that just our speculation personally.
I do think that's I do share the same sentiment as you.
February, yeah.
I do share. I mean,
you can't say
that. I feel very optimistic.
Okay.
For the sake of everyone's happiness, don't say a date.
Yes, yeah, of course. He wouldn't say that on here. Okay, slow Hank, go for it, man.
Yeah, man. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hello,
man. What's your topic or question for everyone?
Oh man, not really a question. It's just more about the community. Like, how much of an adventure has this been? Like, it's been crazy and it consumes a whole lot of my time, but no matter what, I can't keep away from it. So, like, I'm pretty keen on to see what's coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like everyone here, man, especially the people that are involved in making sure things go all right. When things aren't, going as planned, take care of yourself, take some time, always look out for each other. But like, it's a pretty close community, a lot of ups and downs. So let's just keep going and hopefully this year we'll all get rich.
I can't wait until we're all hanging out in a virtual world.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I mean, we were speaking earlier, Ben, when you left. If this all does well, which I think we're all very confident, we all will have to have like some kind of party, some hot tub party or something, in the real world as well.
Hot tub party IRL with Ben, live stream.
Yeah. Are you gonna send me that picture of your feet?
I will not be coming to the hot tub party. I'm not coming.
Yeah, I'll pass on the hot tub party, but we can Zoom. In the hot tub.
We have to host the zoo. If it was hosted anywhere besides the zoo, it would be insufficient.
100%, no doubt.
True.
So when's that hot tub party happening in the zoo world?
As soon as Ben gets his Oculus in the mail.
Which I do need to order.
You jumped in. You just for the vibes, or do you have anything? Any questions?
Who was that? Who were you talking to?
You. I'm saying, like, you just here to chill, or did you have anything you want to say?
I'm here to chill, and I'm here to answer questions if you guys have any.
Sweet.
Do you want to do a floor sweeping competition with me right now and see who can buy the most animals?
That's a good one.
He's got the biggest dick.
Here, I'll give you guys. I'll give you guys a little bit of a. I'll give you guys kind of a little bit about where we've been. So overall, I kind of spoke about the focus, which is the infrastructure for CryptoZoo. We just really know from like past experience, right? When we sold our first egg sale, that we quite literally AWS went bananas, and then B, it happened in like seconds, right? And so hindsight is 2020, but foresight is not, and so we can only kind of predict what the future will look like based on past occurrences, and past occurrences have showed that we were very we were not expecting. We were expecting it to be hectic and a lot of people, but we weren't expecting it to be tens of thousands of people all trying to funnel in to one place. And so that's kind of like quite literally where we're at right now. Infrastructure is big, especially for what we plan on, for what we're building and what we plan on building on top of the zoo ecosystem. We're talking about right now right now we're simultaneously working on, for example, solving the problem and bridging the gap between BSC and ETH eggs. We're working on like fully like in making everything extremely quick. We're also working on a way to kind of integrate feedback and suggestions into one area. For example, like a platform called Jira, and people can pop in there and share feedback, suggestions, support. We're working on a support ticket system. So if anybody has issues or anything like that, people will come in and just put it in, and it'll go into a queue straight to the devs and get that resolved. Right now, it's kind of going to the Discord and looking to do support. That's it's good for right now where we're at, but obviously we want to prepare and we want to be ready for, like I said, the influx of people that we're expecting based upon previous history. And so like all of this little stuff, I know it may not seem like much, but I can tell you from being on like the back end and stuff like that, it's definitely something that we're very eager and excited to kind of lay down a very we don't want to build a tower on a foundation of feathers, right? We want to build a house on a foundation of feathers. We want to build a very solid foundation. I can tell you that I have personally never been more bullish on CryptoZoo's ecosystem and the way that it's going than I am now. And I have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence in who it is that we are currently working with, and these guys are. When you guys find out who they are, it's like, wow, like this. You will when you find. So here's the thing, right? Is when you find out who they really are, that's when you will kind of get insight as to where CryptoZoo is heading and the kind of tech and stuff like that we're going to be releasing in the future. Right now, you're not aware of that, and
I'm pretty confident on that.
Ben's really holding back like the temptation, not just to
yeah. I'm trying to like really catch my words here.
I know, I can tell, man. You're so excited. I love it.
Yeah, what I'm basically saying is we won't need to kind of announce what we're releasing. You'll literally just be able to be like, all right, this is what's coming, and then us announcing it will be like, yeah, this is final confirmation. Like this is so cool. But you guys will be able to will be able to see a lot of insight in regards to what's gonna be coming with CryptoZoo. So that's why we're kind of like kind of waiting to send out all this information, let everybody know. But for the most part, it's a pretty big deal.
Yo, Zhao, welcome, man.
It's actually Joao.
Joao. Ah, okay. Sorry, Joao. You're muted.
Hey, what's up? I couldn't really talk until now. I was just
Yo.
listening on. How you
What's
doing?
good?
Everyone all right?
All good, man.
Just
All good.
enjoying seeing Ben not being able to tell us about how the things he knows and how excited he is, holding back.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah. It's awesome
As always.
to see him struggling with what he can and cannot say. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much
I will
different in the
say-
mod calls, right, Joao?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Any points you want to bring up, Zhao? Or Joao?
I couldn't really hear from the beginning, so I don't really know what you guys been up to. But yeah, I just want to say I really enjoy being a part of this, and this looks absolutely game changing, and we don't even know really what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm just really excited to see what's to come. This year can be completely game changing for me and for probably most of the guys who are also involved in this. So let's just keep it going and see where we head. Just excited.
I love that, man. I match that
For
exact
sure.
energy. It's going to be an exciting year, and I think this is really CryptoZoo's year, right? I mean, last year was a bit rocky, but this is it, 2022.
It wasn't even a full year, so it was like,
Yeah, sure. It was the building blocks, right? It was the building blocks. It was nothing.
Yeah, for sure. Rome wasn't built overnight, and this is definitely
This is new fucking Rome.
yeah, the vision for here's the thing, right? In the future, this metaverse is one big, grand, and cool ecosystem, and I think NFT Guas, his name, NFT Guardian, has a question. So if you request to speak, let him ask. But like, the thing is that in markets there is a very big thing and a very big deal for first movers advantage. And everybody likes to kind of eat the piece of the pie, the piece of the cake, swallow it whole. And I think we're at a very important and a very niche spot to succeed and install the vision of CryptoZoo to the world, where we are the originators of the animals for the metaverse. And the reason that it's definitely plausible and possible, in my honest opinion, is because of there's a very common saying: it's not what you know, it's who you know. And fortunately, we have a very 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 strong combination of both what we know, and also we've been having a very strong foundation of who we know, right? And so with that being said, I one day where people come in and they want to have some kind of a companion in the metaverse, or they want to have some kind of like in WoW there's hunter pets, or whatever it is, right? Or like a mount or anything like that, right? They'd come to CryptoZoo and they'd be like, okay, like, I want to ride a bear shark, right? And when I'm running around in the ocean or whatever the hell it is. And so I think we're positioned in a way that no other project is positioned, in regards to no other project. Right. So there's some project that are focusing on, right, avatars and personal identity within the metaverse as your character, but no one is really positioned to kind of focus on animals, right, and companions, and everybody loves animals. I love animals, right? I'm not much of a cat person, but there's people that are. You know what I mean? And so I think that we're in a really really cool place where it's like the Cambrian explosion, right? And if you don't know, don't mean to sound like like I'm being an educator, but the Cambrian explosion was a point in time in the world where the different.
Hello?
I think he cut out.
I think so. Hopefully,
I
just
told
wait
you
for him
guys
to.
that this is the plan, huh?
Yeah, he's just muted himself.
They are trying to secure the animal kingdom in Metaverse. I just said that, huh? That's amazing.
Did we want to chuck people on for questions while we wait for Ben, or?
Yeah, let's go for it. Chainville, welcome up. How's it going? You're muted, Chainville.
Hey, I actually had a couple questions for Ben. I don't know if he's still here. Looks like he let out. I don't know if he's still here or not.
No, he's disconnecting. Any questions for like us, to, like the group?
Mostly a couple questions for Ben. The first one, I don't know.
It's turned into ask Ben questions.
Well, I mean, he's here.
Let's trying to extract as much knowledge from him as we can.
It's not very often we get to talk to Ben in this capacity, so I think it's important that community gets to ask them questions and feel secure in where they are and where the project is.
Take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, Ben just said on Discord his phone died. He's going to join back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll ask you guys the same question that I have for Ben. Do you guys think that CryptoZoo is going to outrun the bear market? So let's say everything goes to shit, and the bull run is officially done. You know, a month or two down the road, CryptoZoo starts to offload all of the tech that they've been working on. You know, the breeding, the yielding. Logan starts his marketing. Are we going to have the same run up in you know, new users playing the game and adopting CryptoZoo that we would if we were still in a bull market, or are we just going to build slowly into the next bull market?
I think that's actually a really good question. Ben probably can't really answer that anyway because he can't really talk too much on price. But I think it's going to be an income, right? So with yielding, it's not something that you're going to sell because that will then hinder your yield. So it's still going to be that constant income, whether adding to your collection of Zoo, obviously, because it all gets locked in to the actual entity itself. But that's an interesting question. I mean, I guess we'll see, right? Like if the bear market comes and it comes bad, I mean, do you think CryptoZoo is going to be the first place for people to go to get liquidity? It's an interesting one, right?
I think because
the game will be. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I think the game will be like basically separate to other crypto because it'll be a game, right? And it's going to be marketed to be played more so than an investment, I suppose, except for the early sort of investors. So if it grew exponentially, well then I don't think it would have really any correlation to the rest of the markets because it'll be separate. The utility and the NFTs will both have like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a similar approach to it. I don't think CryptoZoo will follow, or the Zoo token itself won't follow traditional market, purely because you got to remember how many new investors there are as well. So it's not really going to follow it as of right now. But yeah, I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
Like at the minute, obviously, without there being a game to actually play, it's taken a hit. Obviously, it's going to dip with BNB, etc.
I think overall, like my sentiment for the crypto gaming space in general is that it's going to decouple from the regular market. And the only thing that I guess kind of not worries me, but has me intrigued, like thinking about this, is the fact that we have crypto in our name. We're CryptoZoo, right? And if there's a lot of media FUD happening. Bear markets in full effect, and our name is CryptoZoo. Our new investors are, these younger people who watch Logan. Are they going to look at CryptoZoo and think, oh, crypto's in a bad place, we shouldn't touch that? Whereas a lot of these other games, like Vulcan Forge, whatever, I'm not like, I don't want to shill anything, but like a lot of these other games aren't necessarily crypto this or crypto that, right?
I think we have an example that speaks to that almost identically. From 2017, we have CryptoKitties. And in 2017, no one was into the breeding of NFTs, the creation of NFTs, yielding NFTs. I mean, they were just like the hot new thing for a short period of time. And not only did the major games outlast the bear market, which was the original question was, will we survive the bear market? But will these games remain relevant in 2 years' time? And will it remain relevant even with a name like CryptoZoo? Because what if crypto has a negative connotation in 6 months' time? And I think from CryptoKitties, we've seen that exactly occur. The Generation 0 and Generation 1 kitties sold for absolute records this year. Even though they weren't the most important game of this year, a lot of games and NFT projects that came out based their ecosystem around how CryptoKitties came into existence. Like a lot of the features in CryptoZoo regarding breeding and that type of thing were ideas that were originally implemented in CryptoKitties 3-4 years ago now. So I think the first question, do we survive the bear market? The answer is yes. Zoo Egg sold out. The team has the funds to survive any amount of time regarding a bear market, and assuming it's 1 to 2 years, I think they survive no problem. Will crypto in the name be a bad connotation? I don't think so. I think as long as the team has the finances to survive the bear market, crypto being in the name just continues to facilitate what the project actually is. It's a crypto gaming project that rewards you in Zoo token. So yes, it is a gaming project. Yes, it is a crypto project, but solely wanting to be one or the other, I don't think works in the crypto space.
True. Good points.
That's very well answered.
All right, you guys can answer me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back, Ben.
And now we get Ben himself answering it.
What was so the question is because we have the name crypto, we have the word crypto in our name that could scare some people away or whatever it is, if crypto has a bad rep or whatever.
Well, the original question was just do we think that CryptoZoo will outlast the bear market? If that's going to be like, if the bear market is in full effect now, everything's just going to keep going down. Basically in a month or two, us launching, yielding, breeding, all of the main game mechanics, and let's say Logan starts his marketing and stuff like that. Are we going to be able to onboard enough people to last through the bear market?
Yeah. So I think that's a very, very good question. There's two parts to that question, and the first part is a very simple answer, and the answer is in general, markets, like they go through cycles, and the ones who stay consistent and kind of build, who build and constantly innovate and create ways for people to utilize what it is that they're building, will continue and see the light of the word is in the realm of a bull market. I'm kind of like walking on eggshells because I'm really, really adamant about not talking about price action or anything like that. So to kind of answer your question, the whole point of CryptoZoo is to bring people together on something that everybody likes and something that has a lot of virality, which is animals, and the virality part is hybrids, right? And so a lot of these projects have a very, very high barrier to entry. For example, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, you're looking at an exuberant amount of money to even join their community, and shout out to them. They're killing it and they're doing a great job. But
do you think we'll get to a point where crypto?
It's not, yeah. But the whole thing is that it's not geared towards CryptoZoo is not geared to be an exclusive club, right? CryptoZoo is we're positioning CryptoZoo in a way that it's geared towards everyone that wants to either get involved in NFTs, B, get involved with animals on the blockchain, or animals involved in a game, right? And messing around with these animals, or C, people who just kind of want to dab their feet into crypto in general. And maybe Bitcoin sounds a little bit intimidating, or Ethereum sounds a little bit intimidating, and everyone is kind of like, what the hell is Chainlink, and what is Solana, and all these other coins and all these other projects, what do they do? Well, CryptoZoo is pretty simple, right? You basically, there's animals, and those animals yield tokens, and eventually you'll be able to play with those animals, and eventually hang out in the CryptoZoo world, and do all of these kinds of stuff. And the whole point for CryptoZoo is to make crypto and NFTs and all that kind of stuff, not intimidating to the average person. And so, to kind of sum up your question, I don't think a bear market is something that is going to impact a project that is continuously building. People are interested, and their interest is piqued by value, and and what a project can deliver to a community, and the type of a community that a project can build. And for the most part, in general, NFT projects is you're not buying the NFT, right? You're buying into the community, right? You're buying into the exclusivity of being involved in said community, right? And a lot of these NFT projects, there's only 5,000 or 10,000 of them, or whatever it is. But CryptoZoo is not an exclusive community, right? We welcome everyone and anyone to get an egg, or get an animal and breed that animal. In the future, when there's more egg drops, it'll become more and more accessible to people who kind of want to dabble around in whatever it is that blockchain tech has to offer, or get involved in the metaverse, or whatever it is. So I think we're really positioned in a very, very interesting place, where we kind of have like a three-pronged approach to the space in general, if that makes sense.
Great. To add to that, man, what's kind of the strategy to, because surely there will be at some point where the base, or you could say the floor of the base animals will be so high, it will be quite a high entry point into the ecosystem, right? And I understand you and the team, and even Logan's mission is to make it inclusive, that anyone can enjoy CryptoZoo. They don't have to put in a lot of money to actually enter it.
Right.
What's kind of the strategy to actually get people involved? Can people invest in maybe like baby animals, or there must be something, right, where the average guy can put in a little bit and enter the ecosystem and just have just as much fun as people who are whales who have thousands invested?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I can kind of, so I'll tell you, like, personally, I hate games that are pay to win. I can't stand them. I don't really play them. And I've been very, very and many people are not big fans of pay to win games. And so, but there is sometimes, cosmetics and stuff like that. Like, for example, if you play Counter-Strike, you can buy like a really cool skin, or that's worth a lot of money. But for CryptoZoo, like for example, it could come to a point, right, where you don't need to be financially invested in the CryptoZoo ecosystem in order for you to get involved, right? Well, imagine if you had if you logged in, right, and you just did like daily quests, right, where you can earn zoo tokens, right, or you have a chance to earn a couple of pieces that eventually you can combine to create a. Now I'm not saying this is what's in the plans, right? But this is kind of where the mindset is right now, and kind of figuring out how we can enable the full inclusion of anyone, even if they don't want to put a cent into crypto, right?
That's dope.
Or NFTs and stuff like that, right? So like you pop into the world and you do daily quests and you earn like small little fragments of a kitten, and eventually you play enough and now you have a kitten, and guess what? Now your kitten is earning yield, and now you can kind of play and interact with your kitten. You can without even knowing, now you're already involved. Not only do you have an NFT, you also have a token, right? And then now you're kind of dabbling in a space where you never even thought that you would, right? Only simply because you just wanted to hang out with people that have a similar interest in you because of animals, or hybrids, or just kind of like hanging out, like Club Penguin style, whatever it is. So that's kind of when we do release something like that, we will make it everything in our power to make sure that anybody from any part of the world, financial status or not, whale or not, can interact with crypto and NFTs, and actually play to earn, right? So a lot of these games, they say it's play to earn, but you have to start somewhere, right? With yielding, so it's kind of play to earn. But we want to position CryptoZoo eventually in the future where it's quite literally play to earn, but you can also pay to play to earn. So,
Ben, I have a quick question
Sweet.
for you. For the like in that sense, say there's a way that people can play essentially for free without putting in the initial investment. I really like hearing that in a sense, because it kind of goes back to Eddie's podcast from early in September, where he mentioned, how the goal, one of the goals is to get young children to play, and 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, and obviously they can't put money in. So like, what if there was a utility for those people who are playing for free, where them playing for free on the front end maybe burn ZooCoin on the back end? That way we benefit from people playing for free, essentially, in a way.
Yes. So, I'll give you kind of an example on how to, so everybody kind of wins, right? Because, from one point I totally understand, you have the side of the person who's like, what the hell? I have eggs, I got Zoo tokens, did all this stuff, right? I'm invested. Why can someone come along and just start earning when they didn't even initially put skin in the game, right? Well, number one, it's not about that, right? Number two is, imagine a scenario, right, where your animal eventually has different types of properties, right, where you have stamina, or you have health, or you have durability, or you have intellect, right? And in order for you to maintain these animals, right, you would need to feed those animals. And so, but you don't, and to keep them optimal and keep them strong, and make sure that they're constantly yielding you Zoo tokens, and you have really good upkeep on your animals and stuff like that. Well, you don't really want. Sometimes people don't really have time to do all that stuff, right? And so this is where the idea of the idea introduces where people can hop into the world, and they can go farm fish for your bear shark, right? Or they can go farm, they can go cut trees and cut logs for your and obviously this is down the road, guys. This is just kind of like
long term,
long term, kind of like giving you guys an idea of what's possible.
We spoke about land earlier, and the functions that can involve, and like having land on the CryptoZoo ecosystem where you can come hang out, and like you can have your friends come to your land and they can see your animals, and they can, exactly as you said, like they can clean them or farm them or interact with them to bring their happiness level up or whatever. There's like literally the possibilities are endless, and I think that's what so many fall in love for CryptoZoo, the reason, because it's endless. Like it's literally,
Yeah. So like an example is, right, let's just say you have a bear shark, and you know that in order to get this kind of yield, or in order to win your next battle that you got coming up, or in order to or in order to keep your bear shark optimal to continue to go catch fish for you, so that way you can introduce more fish into the ecosystem, because other zookeepers will need those to feed their animals and this and that, blah blah blah. Well, let's say you're not home, right? You can put up your bear shark, right, in for display, and say, hey, if you feed my bear shark this many fish, and if you go farm this many fish, and you maintain my bear shark for me, right, like a smart contract, then I will give you zoo tokens, right? And so that's just one way where it's kind of like handshakes hand, where someone who doesn't have the opportunity to jump in super deep into the world of crypto or NFTs, where they can just come in as someone who just wants to maintain other people's animals, and they can earn that way, and so like stuff like that is quite literally endless, and there's 1,000 different ways we can take it and speculate, but that's just kind of like providing kind of like an insight as to where our minds are at, and kind of what one day we believe is possible to achieve with what CryptoZoo is.
Yeah, how far away would that potentially be? Like, obviously, once it's marketed, there's potential it could grow exponentially, like real quick. Like, for instance, Pokemon Go, I think, had 200 and something million people in the first year of its release. Know what I mean? So,
right. Well. Also, you have to understand that Pokemon Go is a multi-billion-dollar franchise that has unlimited resources to throw to build Pokemon Go.
Yeah, 100%. But what I'm saying is, like, obviously there's potential for it to grow. Logan's got anywhere close to 30 million followers, etc. If it's broadcasted well, like when it's marketed, it could grow exponentially really quick, like the plan is, I would assume, to go viral. So I feel like that would need to be implemented and available, so people could just come in and play the game, like you said, without actually having to buy NFTs, for it to be successful to grow like really quickly.
Yeah. For the timeline on that, dude, is I don't have an answer for you, but I can definitely tell you we have a lot of infrastructure built for people to pop into a world and kind of hang out. We do have that, and so that's definitely something that is not in speculation phase. It's definitely something that is pretty much built, and once we kind of announce who and what who the people are that we are working with, then you will be like, oh yeah, that what Ben was saying totally makes sense.
Yeah, I think it already makes sense, to be honest.
Oh, sweet, Ben. There's a question in the. Yeah, go for it. They're kind of coming to an end now, but I've also got a question on Discord from someone. But yeah, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Ben, hi. Quick question. The team is made by Eddie and Logan. I mean, they are the founders and the owners, or there are other people also that have equity.
What's your question?
I'm saying that the only owners of CryptoZoo are Eddie and Logan, or there are other people that they have equity.
Logan is the founder of the project.
Yeah, I'm talking about shares.
Oh, I'm to be honest with you, I'm not sure who has what shares and how many shares and all that kind of stuff. I'm not able to answer that question for you, brother.
No, I'm just saying that if there are more people, not this guy has this amount or that guy that amount or that guy that amount.
Is there more people involved in building CryptoZoo? Is that your question?
As shareholders, yeah.
Well, it's not.
I think what he's trying to say is
I get the question. And I'm telling you that I'm in regards to who has shares. I don't know. I'm not involved in that side of CryptoZoo. I wouldn't really be able to tell you. And it's shares is kind of like it's kind of like a
legal, right? It's all legal.
Yeah, and I don't.
Okay, if you cannot answer, then it's not a problem.
Yeah, brother, I'm not sure, man. To be honest with you,
Except the people that they are involved in the game. There are other investors also.
Other investors, yeah, for sure. I do think there is other. I can't talk about this, man. I'm not allowed to.
Okay.
Not allowed.
Talk about, like, investors and shit. I just can't talk about that, brother.
Okay. No
Okay,
Thank
Ben,
you.
question from Katach on Discord.
Sure.
What can we expect in the next 3 weeks?
Great question. Sorry, I'm eating it because I've been running around all day.
Fair enough.
What can we expect the next 3 weeks? You can expect updates on what's coming on a more stringent timeline than the one we currently have on the roadmap.
Okay.
You can expect numerous updates to the marketplace and to the optimization of hatching. And you can expect kind of like a roadmap of and more stuff potentially in the next 3 weeks or next month. More stuff and milestones added to the roadmap of and more detail of what we have going on. So it's more than just that, right? You're gonna get insight onto what's coming up, what's happening, and so it's kind of like a bunch of things in one, but it's just a lot more information about what's coming and stuff like that.
Sweet. That's what we love to hear. Improvements and then moving forward. Okay, anyone have some kind of last question before we kind of finish up? It's been about 2 hours and 10 minutes. I've heard people say on the Discord that it's been great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Any last kind of questions, guys?
No, this was awesome. One person on Discord just asked if there's any update on the OpenSea verification. Figured I'd just mention it to you.
Good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you got back to me a few days ago.
Yeah. Just waiting for them to do their process. I guess they have a bunch of projects that they're dealing with, and I pinged them, and they'll get back to us. They'll get us verified.
Too easy.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much for joining. It's been a long one, and I've loved it. It's been great.
I think Dan has a last question, please.
Okay. Last question from Dan. Yo, Dan.
Is this working?
Yo, I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. Yeah, just made some weird sound in my headset as I was going. Any questions before we leave? You asked. So, has Ben bought his 30 eggs yet?
Has there? Sorry, one more time.
Have you purchased your? Was it 20 or 30 eggs that you said you would when marketplace open?
I do have quite a few eggs.
Nice. Hatched any?
No, I have not yet.
Come on, join the gang.
I'll hatch them when I get around to it, I guess.
And the
I like my eggs.
Yeah, well, then just buy animals. Then you got two. The IRL meetup as well. Is that official that you'll turn up and face reveal?
Never meetup.
Never.
There was a talk.
I don't even know what IRL is, bro. I'm on the blockchain, baby.
All right.
Ben himself is an NFT.
He's an NFT.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, sweet. I think finally we can end it there.
Quick shout out to the mods on both Telegram and Discord, doing phenomenal work every day, all day.
Legit shout out to everyone.
And yeah, I think.
Okay, I think that's everything.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. Thank you, Mr. CryptoZoo Community Twitter page, for organizing this, man. It's we're really blessed to have a independent community member like yourself, do God's work. And from everybody at CryptoZoo, thank you, man. We really appreciate it.
Sweet, man. Well, great place to leave it. Thank you, Rudy, for hosting with me. Thank you, Solaris, and thank you, Deck, who's had to go. Thank you to everyone who's asked questions. Again, we can't say it enough. This is going to be huge, and this is just the start. Thank you, everyone.
Later, guys.
Take care, guys. In a bit.